Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and More Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. We did Rise of the Fridges last time, which was whimsical and fun. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad, considering what it was. It was better than I thought it would be, let's say that. But now we're moving on to malaria, which is a very, very real disease that is still plaguing a lot of people today. A new major outbreak of malaria has begun in Liberia. Patient 0 is infected with a new mutated strain of the Plasmodium genus of malaria. I don't know the differences between them, but okay, that's pretty cool information. However, analysis of its genetic makeup has identified potential sequence similarities to the species P. falciparum, and may be able to actually utilize some of its DNA coding for itself. This plague can become very lethal very quick. Okay, skimming. Additionally, this plague is access to many cure-slowing traits that significantly hinder the cure percentage in exchange for a whack of DNA points. What a word, a whack. There may be some bugs. It is in alpha versions. Woodley Lawson Gmail. Okay, well, yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. Well, let's give it a shot. I'm looking forward to this. I do tend to like the real-world plagues. Probably the best out of everything. This is a parasite type, which would be interesting, I guess. Catalytic switch, genetic mimic, aquacyte, extremophile, and transstasis all seem pretty good, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and switch up to the symptostasis. Not sure if that'll work out better for us, but it's worth a shot. Play on normal, play as malaria. A new outbreak of malaria has erupted in Liberia. Okay, Western Africa it shall be. Not a typical starting location for me, but I am excited to try something new. Of course, we're used to the hot temperatures, and we are rural and poor. Good to know. All right, transmission, what do we got? We start off with mosquitoes. Mosquitoes capable of being infected, increase infectivity, mutation chance, and effectivity in hot climates. Okay, mosquito 2, increased chance of infection from mosquito-human interaction. So, okay. Increased infectivity, blah, 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 basically the same thing. So very, very effective in West Africa, which I'm looking forward to. Blood 1 gives organism ability to spread through blood-to-blood contact. Pretty standard, also kind of makes sense from a thematic standpoint for the malaria in West Africa, and again, very effective in most of Africa, so these both will be pretty good for us. Good options for us, I think. I probably will go for the Mosquito 2 instead, just because, you know, that's a bit more effective, but overall, not too bad. We start off with chills, fever, and sweating, which actually gives us a little bit more effectivity in cold countries, which I do like. Severe body drenching. As temperature of victim falls, the victim begins to sweat in extreme amounts, drenching the victim fully. Increased infectivity and effectivity in cold climates, so it's basically a better version of sweating, which is pretty cool. I like that, and that's going to be very helpful for us because it probably means we need less cold resistance. Headache. Strong headache causes behind the eyes, causes discomfort and reduces ability to work. So again, this looks like it's going to go into the tree that will reduce the cure progress. Nausea. Slight infection with kissing. We'll go ahead and pick this up. Just 2 points. Why not? Anemia. Decrease in red blood cells or hemoglobin in the blood can lead to hypoxia in the organs. Not sure what's going to come out of that. And we also have coughing. Good in the urban areas, which will take us a little while to reach. So for now, focusing on the poor rural areas will be better for us. As far as abilities, we have some of the standard ones, so cold, heat, and drug resistance. We also have symbiosis, which will reduce the severity enough to allow for the parasite to go undetected for a while, which is the typical strategy you would want to follow with the parasite. I'm feeling kind of cocky, so maybe I won't do anything with symbiosis. We will see. We do start off as a little bit lethal, though. I did notice that. We also have P. falciparum amalgamation. Extreme and lethal symptoms unlocked as rare and deadly strand of malaria fuses with this one. 20 DNA. Or insectile drones. Neuropathic takeover of mosquitoes makes host mosquito crave for uninfected human blood, infecting a couple of new countries. So this will give us a spore effect, but it does cost 45 DNA, which is quite pricey. However, I like that those options exist, especially in custom scenarios, because it gives you a little bit of flexibility on the off chance you made a mistake and you couldn't get into Greenland, for example, and you got everywhere else but you couldn't get Greenland. It gives you a lifeline, is what I'm trying to say, which I do like. Mosquito 3, pathogen can infect all species of mosquito. Greatly increase infectivity in all climates. Well, I mean, that makes sense in humid areas and hot areas. I don't think I've ever seen mosquitoes in very cold climates, have you? So infectivity in all climates might be a little bit of a stretch, but all right. Let's go for the blood. Blood 2, infected bodily fluids. pretty darn infective in Africa, which is not bad, but poor countries generally don't need as much help with the infectivity, so instead I'm going to go for Mosquito 3. And I think between these, maybe we don't really have to go for any cold resistance at all, between Mosquito 3 and the improved sweating. We'll see. Insect 1, all insects susceptible. Okay, better in hot climates. Or air. I like the idea of going for some air. Dead mosquito particles. Ew. As the dead mosquitoes turn to dust and their particles flow in the wind and get into your mouth. Yeah, you can get infected that way. Anemia mutated for free. All right, not so bad. Do we want to go for the insects? Yeah, let's go for some insects a little bit. That'll improve us in the hot climate significantly. There are quite a few transmission options, which I do like. And even if they don't have very customized descriptions, it's clear that a lot of work went into putting together a unique tree, which does take a lot of work and a lot of planning, so I can appreciate that. West Africa has already started working on the cure for malaria. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're going to get very far, I'm afraid to say. I did see there was a pop-up that urban density has fallen, so basically all urban resistance just went up, which is a little unfortunate. I will go for air. That should improve us in the arid climates and also give us the option of getting some planes eventually. Unfortunately, we're barely infecting places with airports. Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and now Brazil, so it'll take us a little while to get around, but we're working on it, dang it, we're working on it. Do we want to go for Air 2? Gives organism ability to survive suspended in air for a long time. Sure, we'll go for this, and then I'll save up a couple points, and I will probably go for the severe body drenching, assuming it doesn't give me any lethality, which it does not, so let's grab that next. Now again, typically a good early investment for a parasite is to go for some symbiosis to reduce the likelihood that you get detected. But since this is only normal difficulty, I'm probably not going to waste the points on that because you all know how that works. What is this? Hemoglobinuria. Hemoglobinuria? I don't know. Oxygen transport protein hemoglobin is found in abnormally high concentrations in the urine. Urine turns purple, is extremely severe, and can be lethal. I have never heard of that. Is that an actual thing? Purple urine? I mean, I've heard about blood being in the urine and stuff. That's one thing. But this is something totally different. Cool. Orthostatic hypotension. Low blood pressure causes dizziness and discombobulation, especially when moving. Slows cure research. Splenomegaly? Splenomegaly. I don't know. Splenomegaly. I don't know. Enlargement of the spleen causes lack of appetite, easy bleedings, and fatigue. Slowed research speed and can be fatal. Well, we don't want to go for fatality too much. I mean, I'm not reducing my severity, but lethality could be kind of bad for us. Do we want vomiting? Sure, I'll get vomiting, and I will grab headache to reduce any cure progress. As far as some abilities, I will grab some early levels of drug resistance, and then maybe we want to save up for P. falciparum amalgamation, just to kind of unlock some new options for us. That might not be too bad. Malaria has been placed on the watch list. That is certainly something that has occurred in real life. Well, maybe not with the fear that it'll spread as a genocidal plague as much as it's something that everyone is aware of and wants to cure, but we'll see. So yeah, I will go ahead and grab this and we'll unlock that. So I see nothing. Well, wait, hang on. Pulmonary edema. I do see some lethality there. Okay. Muscle pain decreases chance of infection but reduces cure speed. Malaise also reduces cure speed. Let's go for a little bit more transmission. I'll grab some water. There is extreme bioaerosol. It does seem kind of weird to me that we can go from air 2 to water 2. The gating should probably be changed a little bit, so you have to go down this route entirely to get to water 2, because we got water 2 before water 1. But gating it like that can be a little bit tricky. We don't care as much about hot climates. I think we're doing fine in hot climates. Poor and humid regions, however, is pretty good. Let's go for water 1 as well. That leads to blood 3 and syringes 1, which is actually better in wealthy countries, which I do like. That's basically a poor man's drug resistance. World Cup has been canceled. Oh no, not the World Cup. Alright, we're missing a few more islands still, but I'm hoping that the extra water infectivity does help. You know, we are spreading very slowly in the cold regions. I'm going to go ahead and grab some cold resistance after all. I wasn't sure I was going to, but we will, in fact, do exactly that. Let's grab some syringes. We'll spread a little bit faster in the wealthier areas now. Got it into the Caribbean, or Cuba. Cuba, it's not so bad. India's working on the cure effort, but we do get some DNA whenever we pop those bubbles, so by all means, cure away. Syringes increase infectivity in wealthy countries, meh. Is there anything that'll increase my cold severity even further? That's lethal. Diarrhea. No, 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 no. The insectile drones is my get out of jail free card. I am going to go for some more cold resistance because we just are not spreading fast enough. I'm a little worried we won't get into Greenland, and whoop, there we go. Scandinavia has been infected. And I really would love to get in there before they shut down all of the ports. Not that I necessarily have to, but it would be good. Because that would save me a lot of points. So, we'll see. I'm going to go for malaise. We're going to slow things down. Severe fatigue. Decreased cure speed. It's very cheap, so that's not so bad. Seizures can be fatal, however. It looks like all of my remaining options are lethal to some extent, with this one exception. Sure, we'll increase that. Metabolic acidosis. Excessive acidity in blood causes palpitations, hypoxia, bone pain, and death by severe stupor and blackouts. So all my other options are now going to be lethal, which means we don't even want any more symptoms for a little bit. Hey, a unique combo. Died in their sleep. Severe fatigue and pulmonary edema are causing victims' lungs to slowly fill with fluid while they sleep, causing them to die in their sleep without... Yes, causing them to die with their sleep without them really having to feel a thing. Oh, it's mercy killing. I feel like I'm a good guy now. I'm not so bad, really, as I murder half the world. Well, half the world. I mean, I'm kind of underselling myself a little bit. I plan on killing everybody. Okay, well, it looks like we did not get into Greenland and all of the ports are getting shut down, so let's go ahead and grab insectile drones and see if that saves the game for us, and it did. Thank you. We are now in Sweden and in Greenland. So as long as we don't kill faster than we infect, we should win this now. Metabolic acidosis did just mutate for free, which is some free lethality, and I'm a big fan of that. Do we want to go for hypoglycemia, which I believe is the thing where you have to have sugar or else you basically pass out. A severe medical emergency which involves abnormal lack of glucose. Yes, it is glucose-based. Highly severe, can be fatal. Alright, I'm pretty sure that was like the entire basis of the plot for Paul Blart Mall Cop, but not that that was a very good movie, it was kind of meh. Anyway, diarrhea, jaundice, let's go for the seizures. And yeah, not the muscle pain. I'll go for the diarrhea. That opens up dysentery. Aha! Now we're getting into the fun stuff. Dysentery. Very effective. Or so I am told. Very effective. Dysentery will kill you all. It's like Oregon Trail. Oregon. Sorry. Not Oregon. Oregon. Paul has died of dysentery while consuming raw flesh from your cows. Total kidney failure. Very lethal. I like that idea. That leads to acute circulatory failure. I feel like these were probably the symptoms that are gated behind the P. falciparum amalgamation, and yet we're only just now getting access to them. That feels a little bit delayed somehow to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels that way. 40 points for the acute circulatory failure, which fails to convert oxygen to CO2. Yeah, that would be pretty bad. Wouldn't it? Well, hang on. Collapse of the cardiovascular system causes heart to fail and lungs to fail to convert oxygen to CO2. That just means you keep recycling the oxygen. I've never really considered what happens if you just recycle oxygen in the body. Presumably bad things, but that's fascinating. All right, we'll go ahead and pick that up because that is extremely lethal. They did manage to get up to 83% of the cure, which did surprise me. I have not been paying attention to that. Yeah, in this scenario, definitely want to go for the things that will reduce the cure research speed because that was pretty severe. Let's go for the genetic hardening. Ooh, hang on. Pathogenic cycle shift. Parasite metamorphoses or metamorphoses, I don't know what the correct word would be there, into its next step in its life cycle. Oh, if it's supposed to be a possessive, then it's just IT, yes, but if it's supposed to be a contraction, then it's IT apostrophe yes. Keep that in mind. A lot of cure research has been rendered useless, increasing needed time, so this is basically a very powerful version of the genetic reshuffle. It's also very expensive, 36 points? I don't see myself affording that before people die off. Although we got pretty darn close. 26%, I mean, almost. I'm gonna grab the delirium and the muscle pain, and we'll see if that resets a little bit of cure progress, just a teeny wee bit. Yeah, but it got us back down to 77%. Anything else I can grab? Not really. Alright, I guess we're just gonna have to end that scenario there. Coma just mutated for free. Well, thank you. 66% cure progress. Nice, that actually is equivalent to 3 stars. Wunderbar, I like that. Très bien. Okay, so, all in all, not a bad scenario. Pretty well balanced. I mostly free of grammatical mistakes, pretty customized well, not actually customized descriptions, but I mean customized symptom and transmission trees, which does make a lot of sense. All in all, yeah, not half bad. Not a bad scenario. I can't really think of anything wrong with it. I mean, it wasn't like something super duper unique that stands out to you. It was a real world scenario, and it had to kind of had to operate within the confines of reality, so there is a little bit of a creative restriction in that sense, but I don't think there's anything really wrong with this scenario. It was pretty well done across the board, I think. Well done. Yeah, malaria, everybody. Super deadly. Still kills a lot of people today. If you feel compelled to donate any money toward any charities, then of course, feel free to do so. Yeah, I recommend that. Absolutely, that was pretty good. Not half bad. Not half bad. What's next on our list after that? So who created malaria? That was Throwing for Skins, Add Me. Well, now you're just sounding desperate, sir. Or ma'am. I guess I really don't know. But either way. All right, well, that's all for me today. Thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, then hit that like button and leave a comment because it does help my search results on YouTube. Of course, subscribe if you have not already. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.